Adam Sangster's Swettenham stud has been a great contributor to the Victorian breeding industry. This year, the team has welcomed the Group 1 winning 2-year-old son of Scat Daddy, Sioux Nation, and also the prolific winner-getter Akeed Mofeed as the first foals arrive for the globe-trotting Highland reel. Adam, it's always a pleasure to come here to Swettenham Stud in Victoria. It's an absolute showpiece. And, you know, Sioux Nation, I was so thrilled to see you be able to come down and see him here, because having him here continues a great relationship, which began, of course, with your father, Robert and John Magnier, so many years ago, with the building, effectively, of Coolmore Stud in Ireland. And it's continued to this day with other stallions, such as Highland Reel, and now this new stallion on your roster.
That's right. I mean, having a son of Scat Daddy in Sioux Nation is it's a great honour to be able to stand him on behalf of Coolmore. And of course, I have a very good relationship with Tom and Sophie Magnier, and obviously all the Magnier family. And our family goes back, as you say, for years, and the foundation of Coolmore. So it's you know, he's after what we did last year with Highland Reel, and we got such good numbers to him, and he was priced so well. Tom said, you know, he said, listen, we've got this son of Scat Daddy, and I said, listen, I need a speed son of Scat Daddy, because that's what our market is really crying out for. And he said, well, listen, what about a Group 1 winning Royal Ascot 2-year-old, Group 2 winning 2-year-old in Sioux Nation? And I went, oh, crumpets, that would be great. So, you know, here he is now, and he's, gosh, he's an imposing type, and what a walker.
As you say, that speed Scat Daddy, but he's also one of the most like Scat Daddy, his sire, that I've seen. And he was such a gorgeous horse too, with that lovely jowl and the forelock and just a beautiful quality about him.
That's right. I mean, he is a gorgeous looking horse. And of course, you know, sons of Scat Daddy, and Scat Daddy himself, he only lasted until, you know, he was 9 years old. He had 5 crops. And I think it's 1 in every 31 Scat Daddy progeny is a Group 1 winner. So having Sioux Nation here, and he just had tremendous speed, and you know, being out of an Oasis Dream mare, and obviously out of a multiple, actually she was highest rated 2-year-old filly of her year of generation in the Bluebird mare. It's a good speed family, and yes, you know, it's just great to have a son of Scat Daddy.
Sioux Nation on the first side of Beckford.
A couple of years before that, No Never won that race, and in Sioux Nation's winning of that Group 1 2-year-old race in the Phoenix Stakes that time, he actually beat US Navy Flag, who went on to be a multiple Group 1 winner himself. So very creditable race.
Sioux Nation, the blue and orange, the far side.
Ryan Moore said, when he got off, he said, my God, this horse just had the cruising speed. And he came down the outside, and you know, he was left on his own a little bit, but he did it. And as you know, everybody wants to win at Royal Ascot, and you know, and I think that really led into the breeders. I mean, in his first year, I mean, Sioux Nation has covered well over 200 mares over in Ireland, so that just shows the breeders are voting with their feet.
It is Sioux Nation in the lead.
You know, just when you look at him as the sprinty sort of type, he would be getting some enormous support, as you say, in the Northern Hemisphere, but here in Victoria as well.
Oh, down here in Victoria, I mean, especially, we were looking for a speed son, and we've delivered. And I just hope that, and which they are, the Victorian breeders are supporting him. I mean, he's going to be a, you know, if he can't throw a 2-year-old Caroline, I don't know who can. And it just seems that all the judges who've come to have a look at him are just walk away to saying, listen, we've got to find a mare, send a mare, or just, you know, we've got to buy one as a yearling when they come out. So he really has captured the imagination. And, you know, Coolmore, you know, they backed themselves in. They saw this bloodline early on, and, you know, they've got up at their place. They've got the Justify being a Triple Crown winner, and obviously Mendelssohn, and Caravaggio, who's not coming down this year, but you know, No Never, and he started at $10,000, and now he's standing at $100,000. And of course, Sioux Nation probably looks a little bit like No Never, and he's got that strong sort of body to a horse, and lovely leg, and great shoulder. Sioux Nation will be an ideal candidate for the first 2-year-old, you know, the $1 million race. Of course, we won this year with a Toronado in Prince of Sussex. So, you know, the Vaubyssards is a very strong sort of reason to come to Victoria, and we've got so many good bonuses around, and great races.
And Highland Reel in the purple has burst through on the inside.
And speaking of that connection with Coolmore, I just loved Highland Reel. Of course, we loved coming down and seeing him last year. An international champion by Galileo, of course, from our fabulous Circles of Gold dynasty here in Australia that's transcended and gone overseas. But the first foals are arriving, which is so exciting, isn't it?
Oh, it really is. I mean, I went up to Coolmore to go and have a look at someone in May, and I was pretty impressed with what I saw there. But of course, we've had a number of foals here, and we presented at the moment. We've got a lovely filly out of a Doomsday mare, which you can see in front of you at the moment. She looks typical of the breed which I've seen, and you know, we've got 135 coming down. He served 148, and you know, so we're pretty happy where Highland Reel sits. And of course, he was a very fast 2-year-old himself. I mean, he won the Vintage Stakes at Goodwood, and it was you know, he's a proper horse.
And then, of course, Akeed Mofeed. Now, he was a fabulous horse in South Australia. He's had a wonderful stakes winner recently, Assertive Approach in the Carlion Stakes.
He is an incredibly good-looking son of Dubawi. And Dubawi, as we know, has conquered the world. But down here, he's, you know, people haven't really sort of settled on him. They had Night of Thunder next door, and he got 110 mares, but he never came back. And he's doing a damn good job in the Northern Hemisphere. So this fella, you know, Akeed Mofeed is a particularly good stallion, and a right year to come to him. I mean, he's very popular. And as Mr. Pan and all his team at Golden Farm said, listen, he's graduated, let's find a commercial farm, and they've come to Swettenham, and we're very proud to have him.
But also you feel he loves so deep. I mean, you've been buying overseas too, and you're succeeding on the racetrack as well.
Yeah, you'll see the Sangster colours going out a little bit more. I mean, it's been a planned sort of approach. We bought this lovely filly, Deep Impact filly, and my stepsister Jane Chapel-Heim trains her, and she's going to go to America and race in the EP Taylor and then into the Breeders' Cup. But she's been a good purchase, and we're going to be leasing out a lot more fillies.
You must be feeling really happy to see so much more investment in Victorian breeding in recent times.
Oh, the investment has been enormous here, especially, you know, when you consider that Woodside are moving up to Northern Nagambie, and you've obviously got Yulon, Mr. Yang, and he's invested enormously into the country here in Victoria, especially around this Nagambie region, and now you've got Aquis. And not only have you got Aquis, but you've also got Lazenby Lodge, has been bought by some Hong Kong interests who've been purchasing some pretty high-class mares over the year. And so with all the other farms combined, it's become a really great destination. And I do say to all your viewers at Bred to Win, but if you ever want to come to this region, Mitchelton Winery in Spa is only an hour up the road from the airport, amongst all the vines, and also amongst all the stallion farms and broodmare farms. So please come and visit us.